And then go back to YouTube. Let's see where it is. Okay. Now I'll let you figure out the mic. About to score. They did. He's going for the extra point. Extra point's good. All right, folks, sorry we had a little delay here, but we're back live here at Benny Lafada Stadium, where the Jaguars trail the visiting Edinburg Economedes 7-0. Gonna mark this up to the week one woes, what we usually do. Always figuring everything out. But I can honestly say right now, 100% excitement for the season to start finally. And we get to start on a Thursday instead of waiting for the Friday night. Right. You know, and the visiting Edinburg Economedes, you know, they come in, you know, coached by Coach Raul Salas on his fourth year. You know, last year they made the playoffs, so they're, you know, the dark horse on that 31-6A. You know, they're led, you know, they have a three-headed monster on offense, you know, led by Johan Nunez, Carlos Garcia, and John Carrion. You know, last year, this three-headed monster racked up 26 TDs and ran for over 2,000 yards as a trio. So, you know, as we saw on that first drive, you know, they were able to march down the field and score. What I've noticed around the Valley, and this is just observing the other teams during two-a-days, during summer strength and conditioning, the sister school or the father school here in Donna, over Donna High, saw them go through spring ball. Looks like the Valley's going back to the run-heavy type of offense. There's going to be a few teams out there that are going to be passing the ball, but for the most part, everybody's getting back to the ground-and-pound, nitty-gritty Valley run style. Right. And North changed their offense. Now they run like a triple option, and they're on the carry number 42. You know, returning from last year. That is Luis Rodriguez on the carry for about 3-4 yards. So, yeah, I think a lot of that has to be the success that Brownsville veterans had, you know, yes. Deep playoff run with that triple option that they ran. Yeah, they put a man in motion, and the quarterback has his choice. And he usually they're keying off of the linebackers or off of the defensive tackles, defensive ends, depending on where the line moves them, and that gives them a chance to say, okay, you open up that hole, we'll give it to this guy. You close that hole, we'll give it to the next guy. If you stop everything else, there goes Prince Johnson. I'm going on my own, and that's part of that triple. On the spin, there goes Prince. Nice move. Oh, that's a horse collar. That is a horse collar there, and he is caught. But they didn't call it at the 15-yard line, just shy of the 15. We're looking maybe the 17, and that's one heck of a run. Way to start the season. We're right. Going to see. I was just about to talk about Prince. He's pretty much the workhorse, but looks like they're bringing it back. These are the mistakes you don't want, but if you're going to have them on a non-district game at the start of the year. Yes, get all those nerves and butterflies and just the anticipation out and get on with the season. Right. And we know, and as far as it's not going to be a secret, they're going to go to Prince for the majority of the season, and we saw that during the scrimmages. But what that does is a lot of the defenses start to key on top of him, which opens up the lanes for the other backs, for the other receivers. They run a similar offense to what I've seen in Mercedes, not exactly the same, but similar, where they put a receiver in motion and they use the receivers kind of like additional running backs.
Talking about Prince Johnson last year had 930 yards and 20 rushing TDs. So, he's going to be that breakaway player, but it's all going to come down to that offensive line, making those holes.
Now, this year I've seen that offensive line that they're working with this year, they've got size. They've got the size to do some damage if they really learn how to utilize them. But I don't want to call it a curse, but this team just never gets older. They went back to that. There was a couple of years there where they're senior heavy, junior heavy, but now if you look at their roster, it's more than half underclassmen.
They do return 13 returning starters, on the team. So yeah, they're young, but at the same time, they're earning their stripes today.
I will say this on them though. Setting up for our video shoots and all the hype stuff that we do for Donna North, this is the biggest team we've shot in 10 years. Quarterback goes under center, man in motion. Toss over. Was that Johnson?
No, that was David Herrera, running back, number 5. It's a turnover. I believe he might have fumbled the ball or they stripped it out. We were able to cover North in a couple of their scrimmages, and I was really impressed by one of their defensive tackles. I believe it is number 99, Ray Ortega.
This Cheifs offensive series is sponsored by Players Statement, taking care of all your
like I said, I'm excited to be back here with a difference of year mates. I know last year, let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Last year, I didn't get to call a single game except for the last one. Health issues, fumble, defense coming on strong.
That was number 24, and I'll tell you what, Dave. Number 24 had an excellent scrimmages. Jeremiah Presas, he's an outside linebacker, and he almost caused that fumble. Great stop by Presas.
That fumble just took a bounce in a way that Edinburg was able to recover it right away.
Right, and Edinburg, they run that, the wing T offense, which it's rare, but like we talked earlier, it's making a comeback. That triple option.
Yes, it is. See, they go unbalanced with motion. You get that extra blocker and a counter. Look at that.
That's number 9. That is Johan Nunez, and he will walk in for a touchdown for about 33 yards.
Yeah, they had everybody shifting off to the left, which opened up the lane on the right-hand side. He just took it in. He just took it over. And that's what I've been saying. The Valley has been missing. They haven't. These guys are getting back to it. They do a lot of traps and counters, and that confuses a lot of defenses. And really, no matter what level, no matter who you're playing, you can get by with some good movement, with some misdirection. And that's what Economedes did these first 2 series. They're adding in that misdirection. They're playing the trap counter game, and I'm looking at them. They've got some speed on there.
They got some speed, but again, this offense for the Jaguars, last year they ran for 2,500 yards and 26 TDs. So they're going to be a dark horse team in the District 31 6A.
Who was their OC last year?
Well, he's across town today.
Yes, he's in the. I think he's over in Elsa right now, if I'm not mistaken. as Coach Jones, brand new head coach for the Redskins. This is pretty much the offense that he put in over there at Economedes. They're still running it. They're still taking it forward with what he put in place over there. And like I said, we got to see some of the action from Donna Hyde over the summer and during spring ball, and he brought that same energy, that same intensity, and that same offense here to Donna. So at least when they get to district, the Cheifs have already seen that offense.
Good return to about the 25-yard line. Now a quarterback for the Chiefs is Orlando Carizales, number 7. Behind him in the backfield, of course, is number 42, Luis Rodriguez.
Man in motion. Straight up the gut.
Rodriguez for a carry about 3 yards. Defensively for the Jaguars, they're led by the 2 linebackers, Jaime Uji, I wonder if I'm pronouncing his name right, that's number 11, and number 8, Josiah Villarreal. I think last year they combined for about 100 tackles. Second and 7 for the Chiefs. Johnson on motion. Again, fullback dive. We'll make it 3rd and about 3 yards. If you're just tuning in, right now the score here, it is the Jaguars 14 and Donna North 0. Gonna be short. It'll be 4th and 4. Lost about a yard there. Number 18 and number 5 back to return the punt for the Jaguars. Well, nice return, slips a couple tackles, still on his feet. Will be tackled about the 35-yard line, 36-yard line, 46, I'm sorry. Fullback dive up the middle in a trap, number 19. That was Kevin Vargas, running back on the Jaguars. A nice run up the middle on that trap. First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Carrion at quarterback. Trapped inside. Off to the races he goes. Tackle at about the 5-yard line. That was Reyes Luna on the carry, number 22 for the Jaguars. First and goal from the 5-yard line. Again, quarterback keeper Carrion, and he will score. Score now here. The Jaguars extend their lead 21-0 on that 5-yard quarterback keeper by John Carrion.
Fighting for justice. Fighting for you.
Nothing shows up. But it's there.
Return by Julio Aldaco. Tackle at the 29-yard line. So with 3:03 left here in the first quarter, the Jaguars lead your Donna North Cheifs 21-0.
This Cheifs offensive series is sponsored by Greater State Bank, taking care of all your genuine hometown banking needs.
Carry to Prince Johnson. Breaks outside. Nice run by Johnson at about 9 yards. Will be a yard short from that first down. Set up a 2nd and 1 for the Cheifs. Run up the middle by Luis Rodriguez. He'll have the first down.
That's the Cheifs gold sponsor Chick-fil-A first down. It's the little things.
She's going no huddle.
Yeah, we saw this a little bit back then during the scripts also. They'll go straight to the line, see if they can get them to move. They'll look over to the sideline, get a new play in. They've got those plays down on their cuff, on their wrist, so they're ready to go.
Toss to number 3, trying to get to the outside. Probably gets back to the line of scrimmage. That was Julio Aldaco on the carry, sophomore. He's going to be credited for about a yard. Orlando Carizales at quarterback. Orlando's also another sophomore on the team. Fullback dive to number 42, Luis Rodriguez, for maybe about a gain about 2-3 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 9 or 37 for the Chiefs. Number 9 checks in and Rodriguez comes out. That's Jose Perez coming in at running back. Quarterback keeper Carizales fights, gets real close to the first down, might be a yard short. There's that triple option that we talk about. He's 4th and 1 for the Chiefs. Timeout. Well, actually, the end of the first quarter. So that's the end of the first quarter, David. Score here is the Jaguars lead the Chiefs 21-0. You know what, Dave?
That's what they're doing. I mean, they're playing their game. That's what the Economedes came to do. Now, in the past years, it's gone back and forth. We never know how this game is going to play out. They've actually beaten the Economedes in the past, but I think with the new set of players, with the new offensive line, right now, North is trying to find themselves.
4th and 1. Carizales at quarterback. They'll get the first down. Luis Rodriguez powers his way for about a carry of 4 yards and gets that first down. Timeout on the field, injury timeout. A player cramping. We'll take a minute here. You know, Dave, now that we have this injury timeout, let's introduce ourselves. You know, we didn't get a chance since we're trying to jumpstart this broadcast.
Like I was saying before, week 1 woes. We're trying to figure it all out for you at the exact same time. So, and there's a couple of things that we're playing around with here in the background. If you notice, I was quiet for a little bit. We're trying to put up a scoreboard here. See if that helps. I know that's one of the issues that we've had. So we're trying to figure out. I mean, we're doing everything. We're doing the voiceovers. We're doing the back end. We got the software going. There's a whole lot of stuff that y'all don't see going on, and it's just a fun time for us. So we're trying to get it done. But to going back what you said, once again, my name's David.
And I'm Rene Ortiz, the other side of the commentating.
This is one thing that happens every year, first game, and it has to do with the area that we're in. It is so hot and humid. These kids are just in the warm-up. They're sweating like there's no tomorrow. They're losing fluids. The trainers, everybody's trying to keep the game going, keep their electrolytes in and stuff like that. But it's something that cannot be helped.
Well, Dave, this is the second first down for the Chiefs in this drive alone. Carrizales still at quarterback number 7. Lined up behind him is Rodriguez. And in the wings is Prince Johnson and Aldaco. Carrizales is going to keep a run of about 3 yards. Sets up a 2nd and 7 for the Chiefs.
All right, let's see if this works, y'all folks. If something goes wrong, we're sorry. Like I said, we're trying to make everything a little bit more user or viewer friendly for you all. So give me just 1 second. All right, now for now, it looks like we've got a scoreboard here for y'all to look at, which will be updated periodically whenever there's a score change or anything like that.
Be 3rd and short for the Chiefs.
I've always thought that was a weird thing to do, is that look back offense. I think they're spending a good, sometimes up to 10 seconds doing that. Man in motion.
Fullback up the middle, that's Rodriguez. He'll have the first down.
Yep, barrel through.
You know, that's going to force Edinburg to play the inside a little bit tougher, and that should free up the outside.
The outside for Prince or
Aldaco. Or David Herrera, because I think Herrera.
Or the quarterback himself, too.
Yeah, that is Aldaco right now on the right side on the wing. This time they were waiting for him, a host of Jaguars. Number 8 on the tackle for the Jaguars, Josiah Villarreal, who had 49 tackles last year. Second 11 for the Chiefs. Nate Martinez lined up on the near side. Prince Johnson trying to get to the outside. Steve Farms. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Sets up a 3rd and 11 for the Chiefs. 8:46 left here in the second quarter. Carrizales at quarterback. Let's see what we have here. Encroachment. Oh, they call it false start.
Timeout Chiefs. It's Chiefs timeout. For all your qualities in life, call your hometown lawyer, the Dennis Ramirez Law Firm, located at 111 North 17th Street in Donna.
Kind of a misdirection.
Luis Rodriguez with a carry. Sets up a 3rd and long for the Chiefs. You know, they've had a good drive and been able to convert on the 3rd and shorts, but now they're forced to a 4th and long. Might be a passing down. Let's see if Carrizales is able to connect with either Nate Martinez.
We saw the receiver running backs. They both kind of wanted to go to towards the middle, so there was a miscommunication there. I'm not sure what exactly happened.
Pitch out to Aldalco, but no. Well, he breaks tackles, but no, it's going to be
Not
short.
enough.
Not enough.
Not enough. He got back just a few of those yards. Hey, he got positive yardage. Had it not been for the penalty, it might have been close. But they're also within the range of they didn't want to punt the ball.
No. It's still a very productive drive for the Chiefs. You know, they were able to drive inside Jaguars territory, getting to about the 25-yard line. It's just that one penalty that kind of killed them. And you know, they
Didn't just kill the yardage, but killed the momentum.
This quarter is being sponsored by Plains Capital Bank at 503 North Salinas Boulevard in Donna. Come by and visit us.
Carrion at quarterback looks to pass to number 4. That is Derek Cantu on the catch.
Little hitch pattern real quick
Felix Garcia, I'm sorry, number 4.
behind the line of scrimmage. And see, I remember that hitch pass that we used to run with Westlaco back in the day with height. Receiver would step back 2 to 3 yards. The quarterback would throw it directly into the ground and bounce it to the receiver. And that's when the receiver would kind of make a motion like, oh man, it went straight to the ground. As soon as the defender didn't make a move on him, boom, he would take off.
Screen to the backside to the tight end. He's going to have the first down. Tackle by Sebastian Caldera, number 10. Or might have been also Joseph Carrillo. First and 10 for the Jaguars.
Toss to the outside, opens up a lane, gets some good yardage on that one. Chiefs swarming just a little too late for the first down, so they're going to move the chains.
That was Christian Espinosa on the tackle and also Alfonso Lerma. And this Jaguar team, you know, they're the dark horse team in 31-6A when you consider you got PSJ Bears there, PSJ High and Wesco High, and this team finished 3rd last year. I get another hitch, number 7. Gets to the outside.
And is forced out of bounds for another first down.
That is Diego Urias, junior receiver.
One thing you can notice, just straight body language from Economedes, they've gained some confidence over the years. I remember those years when they would come in and shoulders shrugged, droop down. So, but now they look like they're like we're contenders this year.
Right. You know, they're going to be that workhorse, that dark horse on 31-6A. Carrion with a
Straight up the middle. Runs into a defender and lifts the defender up.
tackle by number 11 for the Chiefs, Sebastian Caldera, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, he made the contact, but he was still able to get another 1 or 2 yards out of after contact.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You barreling down. This, like I said, that hard-nosed Valley run game. Misdirection
to the outside.
to the outside.
Well, it's going to be holding.
It looked like he stepped out, too. They didn't call that.
That's the old 8-hole reverse.
Mm-hmm.
We're at the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter.
We're going to start the second half with lights still out.
That might be your first.
We're actually going to be doing that quite a bit this year, just at least until daylight savings time kicks in again, or ends.
Still beautiful weather for Friday night, even though it's Thursday, but it's still beautiful weather here. Aside from the humidity, we're all right. Toss to number 3. Tackle. Oh, breaks the tackle.
Bounces out.
There might be another flag for holding there. Alfonso Lerma had him and was able to break the tackle. So still be first and long for the Jaguars. That should be a spot foul plus 10. We'll make it 1st and 21, I believe.
Holding. Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty for the spot of foul. Remains down.
I remember back in the day when they wouldn't say your number. And now everybody knows you were holding.
Now everybody knows who to blame on that one. Quarterback under center.
Keeper, Carrion, gets back almost to the original line of scrimmage. Under that pile was Jose Arcinega, defensive back. I wonder if it's related to the Arcinega who played quarterback. Might be.
Been seeing that.
Little brothers,
big brothers, twins. Santa Rosa has a pair of twins. One plays defensive back, the other one plays quarterback.
Go 2nd and 11 for the Jaguars. Carrion at quarterback. Fakes the dive, looking wide open.
Wide open in the middle of the field.
Wide and incomplete.
Just touched him. It touched his hands. There's no excuse on that one. Coach always told us, if it touches your hands, you gotta catch it.
Yeah, it looks like he slowed a little bit, and that little stutter was able to cost him that TD.
Yeah, he looked like he was surprised to see the ball.
Wide open to him.
He was completely open. There was nobody within 10 yards of him.
3rd and 11 for the Jaguars. They got the wind behind their back, so they can easily throw here. Looks like they're going to come out still in the wing. Reverse. And he has all the outside open.
Yep, he just bolted through and hits the corner of the end zone.
Touchdown. Jaguars. That was number 7 for the Jaguars, Diego Urias. And the extra point is good. So with 3:42 here at the reservation, the Jaguars extend their lead 28-0 over your hometown Donna North Cheifs.
When it feels like the world is against you, he's got your back for all your penalties in life. Call your hometown lawyer, Dennis Ramirez. Call 956-461-2890. Bank.
short kid, trying to
little bouncer out there.
trying to keep the ball off the hands from Prince Johnson.
It's hard to believe he's been playing for 4 years.
Is this going to be 4th year already?
It's his senior year.
Wow.
I thought it was when I saw him this past summer. I thought it was his junior year.
Right?
But no, he did his announcement. He's a senior.
Wow.
So yeah, we won't see. We're gonna miss him for sure.
Garizales still at quarterback, number 7, a sophomore for the Cheifs.
Under center,
Keeper.
motion. He's
About to carry about 3 yards.
They stopped calling it the tush push. They're calling it now the brotherly shove.
2nd and 7 for the Chiefs.
This one had no shove to it. It was just let's see how many yards we can get off of this. Picked up a good 2.5, 3 yards.
Jaguars in an odd man front. Oh, nowhere to go this time. Might be a loss of about a yard for Garizales.
Yeah, from there, what I saw, Johnson had a shift, and I guess it was his job to open up the lane. He shot through and hit his man, but there was just so many people piling in from the sides that they couldn't get through. Now, the weather has been cooperating as of late. It hasn't been as I don't want to say it hasn't been as hot, but the temperature has come down a little bit. We had a little cold front earlier on.
Bryce Tacko have the first down.
There we go, still going.
Aldaco gets tackled about the 40-yard line. Longest run of the season. Might be a flag for a late hit there. I believe that was David Herrera. I'm sorry, on the carry, number 5. There's probably 2 flags here. So it might be holding, and then after the play, late hit. We'll see what they call here.
See if they go offset and see. Got to get confirmation from everybody who had eyes on it.
There's 2 fouls on the play. Holding. Offense. Number 61.
So they'll do that first one.
Penalty for the spot and foul. Dead ball foul. Defense. Number 5. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Taunting. 15 yards from the end of the penalty of the holding.
So they go 10 yards back and then 15 yards forward.
So it's a net positive of 5 yards.
5 yards and a first down. Again, that was a beautiful run by number 5, David Herrera.
I know in the past, if there was a penalty on each side, it would automatically offset, no matter what the yardage was. Well, now they're doing an averaging.
Well, the thing is that the taunting was after the play, so it wasn't during the play. It was not a live ball foul.
Okay.
The result of a first down.
Now I don't recognize this crew. This crew might be from the Corpus area.
At this time, 2-minute warning.
That's the Chiefs.
So we're going to go ahead and they're going to take a quick timeout for the 2-minute warning. No timeout, actual timeouts charged to anybody. But they get that nice little break before the half.
Texas. Here for your seat.
I take it back. This is a Valley officiating crew.
And they're back from the quick break. Excuse me. Quarterback under center. Keeper.
Gets about 3 yards. Will be a 2nd and 7 for the Chiefs. Again, gang tackled by a host of Jaguars.
Those pursuit angles that the defensive are using, they're pretty much putting a stop to any lanes that he might have to cut up. So he's having to cut back.
Right, I believe that number 24, Dario Ceballos, on the tackle for the Jaguars, linebacker. Gonzalez barking orders. Draws back to pass. Pressured. Throws it. And he's going to get... There's going to be a late hit there.
There is.
Roughing the passer. Tack on another 15 yards.
He got out of there. He got out of the pocket pretty quick. He was trying to find his player. Give a good stiff arm in there also. Saw that one defender go down from the push off, and then after that he got rid of the ball and
got hit,
got nailed. So one way or another, they're marching the ball down. We can only hope that there's a score before the end of the half.
And they get the ball back and start the second half.
Yep.
That's what Chiefs don't stop to keep the line first down. It's the little things.
QB under center.
Pitch out to number 5, breaks tackles. David Herrera.
That's a good 2 yards out of that one.
It was 2 yards, Dave, but he could have lost 2 yards, so that's a good run for him.
He shook off that first tackler,
right.
And the next one was right there to meet him. He was able to lunge forward and get what he could.
But you know what? I'll take these 2-3 yards because that sets up a 3rd and short.
Yeah. We used to call it a blue collar offense.
There you go.
Grind it.
We're down to 40 seconds left in the second quarter. Might be a false start.
Load the play dead just as soon as he hiked it. Yeah, that's always the.
Oh, he got timeout. Jaguars called timeout there.
Oh, just before. I kind of saved him then.
Right, he did.
See, while we're waiting, see if I got enough to look up some scores here.
You know, Dave, it was kind of rare to find out earlier in the week that this game was on a Thursday at a home team.
Considering that the other team isn't playing home either, they're playing away. They're playing away tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right?
They'll be playing at Ed Couch.
So we'll be at Ed Couch tomorrow, trying to get you some videos from the game for the Redskins. And Jackets, last year the Jackets were able to pull up a upset, I would say.
They were a different team last year.
They're a different team. Oh, Prince Johnson is going to get eaten up for about a loss of 6 yards. That outside linebacker on the outside for the Jaguars, he just stayed home and just shot that gap.
Jaguars.
Okay, so for what they're showing out there right now, scores that we can update you on, you got Juarez Lincoln Huskies leading Brownsville Lopez Lobos 7-6. Let's see here. We've got PSJ North leading the San Benito Greyhounds 14-0.
Wait, we'll run that score back.
PSJ North Raiders 14, San Benito Greyhounds 0.
Wow. Well, North is still the number 1 ranked team starting the season.
And it still shows in the first quarter, so this may not be an updated score, but still 14-0 in the first quarter. And yeah, North has been rated the number 1 team in the Valley right now. And the sad part about that is they're in the same district as Donna and Donna North. I did want to talk about that district a little bit. That's going to be a meat grinder of a district.
Oh, Carrizales breaks tackles
through.
First down.
He was not going to be denied that chain movement.
And I tell you what, Carrizales shot through that hole quick.
He yanked him. He yanked that one player holding onto his ankle, just pulled him across the first down mark.
It's going to be 1st and 10 inside the red zone, Dave. Oh, well, actually, we're a couple yards from the red zone.
Yes.
But this is the second time they've been at about the 25-yard line. But they only got 20 seconds this time.
Now, going back to what I was saying earlier,
right?
They've got teams like Brownsville Rivera, PSJ Memorial, Donna High, Donna North. But on the other end, you've got 5 schools. Any single one of them can be a district champion.
Yeah, it's top loaded, heavy top loaded.
So
and there's no room for error there.
No, you're looking at Corpus Christi Veterans who took the title last year because of a mathematical way that they did it. I had no idea. It was them, PSJ North, Flower Bluff, which has always had a dominant team.
Right.
Just for the past 10 years that I've seen them.
Right. You got Harlingen South.
Harlingen South, always top tier, and Westlake East. You can't have a playoff conversation without Westlake East either.
Right. And the interesting thing about Westlake East, I believe this is the last year for Burgett. He's retiring in December.
Really?
Yeah, so change of guard at Westlake East.
Good luck for him. Let's hope it sticks. I've seen coaches that said they retired and they pop up in some other school.
Quarterback will be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Carrizales.
Like just recently, I went to a couple towns over in Mercedes. Took some pictures over there.
Where's that at?
Mercedes?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, there's a familiar face from there, back from the 3A ranks. Head coach Dan Perez.
Okay, yeah.
He returned over to Mercedes.
Came from La Villa,
and he's coaching some defense out there.
Interesting. Well, that's going to be a one good game when they face Ed Couch. That big rivalry between those two, cities that are just miles apart.
Well, we're going to get to see them next week. Mercedes is going to come over here. They're playing Donna High.
Donna High. DP for the longest time was a defensive coordinator at Ed Couch before he took the job at La Villa.
And he had great success in La Villa. Every year that he'd been there, I'd never seen a year that he did not make the playoffs. So there were some runs that he made in the 3A playoff ranks that were impressive. Very, very impressive.
Going for a field goal, and it is blocked.
With 11 seconds left in the half, let me go ahead and continue. We got Brownsville Porter leading Gruya 14-0.
By the way, that was Derek Cantu on the block for Economedes.
And I'm sorry to report that's actually the last one. I was hoping they'd have more scores updated, but let me go ahead and call it again. The week 1 woes.
I got a big game tomorrow between Westlake and Harlingen. Both teams ranked in the top 10 in the valley.
Okay, now we've got some updates now. I had to refresh the screen, but San Benito was now in there, 14-7. We've got Mercedes leading Edinburg 7-0. So as more scores come up, we'll go ahead and update you a little bit more. It was a long pass. Didn't quite pull it in.
So is Mercedes playing Edinburg High?
Edinburg High Bobcats.
Wow, okay. Edinburg High has a new head coach, former offensive coordinator at Wesco High.
Mercedes made some personnel changes as well. We mentioned one. There's a new offensive coordinator. Everybody's been making the moves this year. Everybody's been making moves. Drops back, tosses out again.
That was all streaks.
Nothing.
The all goal route for everybody in the backfield. And that'll be end of the first half here at the reservation. Jaguars lead your hometown Donna North Chiefs 28-0. We're going to try a couple different things next week. We hope to have some audio next week on the band. We're going to have a microphone out there, get you a couple different tunes.
I'm not going to say that anything. I don't want to say it as a negative connotation. Mm-hmm. But before, we were able to open the windows up. We were able to put the microphone out there. We didn't have to run a 100-foot cable to get some sound. But I'm not going to complain because this glass makes it so much easier to look out. We don't have the sun just constantly blasting us at the beginning of the game. And I mean, it's a beautiful setup here. Not saying anything wrong, but that was just one of the things. Now, the next thing we got to do is, of course, they're not going to let me drill through the wall here to make the cable shorter, so we'll have to run it around the door.
Yeah, running around the door, maybe about 20, 30 feet, but we'll be fine. We'll get it done. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll let you listen to the band and the cheer team, and we'll be right back after this. When I get paid, I'll buy the microphone myself. I'll run 2 of our 25s just to get it right here, and I'll just tape it on the sugar floor. I thought that was like the rail. It's like I'll just tape it to the rail. I'll try to find it for the mixer. If not, I'll just do you have one? Okay. It's a printer cable, basically. Yeah. Because I was in video on me. Take a picture. second. Get the audio. Yeah, it's just manual. Now, you can do a PNG file on the helmet and logo, you can put it on the suit. I figure we gotta do that first. And you can take the laptop, so you can do it at home already. And then we just bring it and already set. I think I'll be able to have if I remember. That and just get the right size. Because right now it's kind of offset, but the right amount, the same size font. Good evening. That's the whole thing. It's like the same thing.
First assistant building, Christopher Garcia, and second assistant building, Nikki Pacheco.
I don't know, and they're both the same impact, regular, but it's just the size of it doesn't match.
Section.
Yeah, just give it the same one, and then on the back, maybe like stretch out the lettering, so it doesn't take too much of the video on top, like make it wider. And then, technically, put the team colors at the back. Yeah.
It has titles.
Tonight, the
It's just a matter of making sure we change up the song.
and clarity.
But whenever we get on the music part of it, it doesn't want to go back to it. It wants to do something else. So that's why it took me a while to change it to 20 minutes.
C3. Bring out the barrels. Featuring garbage cup.
I was trying to figure out why it wasn't coming up on top, but because it was so far under the, so we do have to put it in the right position, in the right layer.
The thing is, next week, just get here early and just get it all set up and test run, and then
Would have been here a little bit early after you called me, but I still had to walk the dog, I still had to do all this other crap. Because if not, I'm gonna come home and shit. Piss all over the place. I gotta go into the HVAC system too.
there's some people that are really still on.
Oh, okay. I'll get some right now. Thank you, guys.
We figured out how to put the scoreboard in.
Not bad for the thing I remember like making little working. But yeah,
And where's the guy? And where's the guy? I want him to see all this.
there's a little rubber, so we put on the wire and I'll just hang the microphone on the rail, like punching that way. And I'll use black tape and I'll tape it up. So we're gonna get the crowd and some and I expect a good crowd.
Again, we didn't need much. I don't know what happened, why the text is off. Because the one on the left is like 34. The one on the right says it's 72. Like, even if they, yeah, we'll figure
it out for the next one, but at least we got the glitch. We know where everything goes and how to set it up and everything else. So, and that's why the way we have to do it, we have to put the score on top. We got to do that first before we put in the video and the audio and everything else.
Okay.
So that's.
So do you want us to continue? Do you want us to continue to show the score? Or you're just gonna put it back?
You can. Yeah. That's part of the video, so they can see the board itself. At least that way they can see the advertisement.
Yes. Okay.
So, but if they just tune in to check the score, it's there. Okay. We just have to, whenever they score, we have to do a manual.
Okay.
And of course, get the microphones down. We should have.
But you know, I was talking to the audio guy. Pick up the ports from your turn. Whatever port is yours, they rip up the audio ports from you. The thing is, they use it, like when I'm not here, they use it. I tell them, don't open the box.
They use it for little Cheifs.
They use it, yeah. And then soccer game, like everything. It's like, sometimes like, oh my God. So I already told us we have 30. I said, we can't control it. I said, you're here, right? And I can't control it. I said, we love this. They still do it. I said, and he goes, well, how did they take it in stock? I said, if you don't take it, I said, and if you have
And step back, go get ready for the greatest show of Texas on Thursday night. The big blue and orange Johnny G. Economedes Jaguars marching band!
Yeah, but I think they need me more.
Jaguars Driver Marching Band. These days, program coordinator for Jaguar Band is Ken Summer, arranged by Tanner Jones, and Christopher Joe by Brad, Honeycutt, psychologist coordinator is Tori Crimmins. The band booster committee is chaired by Janet Loza and Vince Martinez. We hope you enjoyed tonight's exciting production. Thank you and go Jaguars! He's the hardest. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2025 Indian Spirit at Princess Coronation Ceremony. Indian Spirit Indian Princess of Donna North are the school's ceremonial figureheads and have represented Donna North at school and community events since 2014. Our co-masters of ceremonies for tonight's festivities will be our 11th Indian Spirit, Luis Mejia, and our 11th Indian Princess, Yaslin Moro. Our honored guests for tonight's ceremony are the elders of the Donna North Spirit and Princess Council, 80 Indian Princess, Lisbeth Arrelo, and 9th Indian Princess, Gabriela Trejo. Serving as tonight's student honor guard are select school team captains, drum majors, and head student club leaders. The name for the Indian Spirit is inspired by the Indian Spirit figurehead of Fort Neches Groves High School and is in reverence to the undying spirit and courage of the American Indians of our nation. We are proud to continue our school partnership and friendship with Mr. Robert Soto, the Lepan Apache Tribe Vice Chair, and Rick Capu, the non-Apache Tribe member, as they assist our school on American Indian regalia, representation issues, and the non-discriminatory use of American Indian imagery. So without further ado, it is Luis's privilege to introduce your 13th Indian Spirit, Esteban Casanova. Esteban is the son of Luisa Casanova and Esteban Casanova. He is a 4-year member of the Rising Chief Choir and a 3-year member of Cosmetology. It is now Yasmin's privilege to introduce your 12th Indian Princess, Ruby Celeste Rodriguez. Ruby is the daughter of Veronica Rodriguez and Juan Rafael Rodriguez. She's a 4-year varsity member of the Lady Cheifs track and field team, a 3-year varsity member of the cross-country team, and a UCA All-American cheerleader. Esteban and Ruby's overlay and regalia are unique replicas of the original fringe that were designed by local artist Donna ISD science director Emily Anderson and blessed by the Apache tribe at a blessing ceremony. Their outfits were sewn together by local seamstress Miss Frances Martinez. We shall now proceed with the coronation processional and the coronation all individual items carefully considered by the Indian Spirit and Princess to present them with special items to complete their outfit ensemble. First, we have our NHS President, Damien Tapia, and Vice President Rodrigo Galindo, presenting Esteban and Ruby with their moccasins in the traditional washing of the feet. May Esteban and Ruby remember to always serve their fellow students wholeheartedly with humility. Second, we have the 2025 student body representative, Billy Ixpache and Santos Cruz, presenting Esteban and Ruby to the official student council education plan, installing and confirming them as the 13th Indian Spirit and 12th Indian Princess of Donna North High School. Plaques confirm their role as the ceremonial figurehead and install them as head of state officers of the student council. Third, we have varsity cheer captain Jaylin Cuevas and
and Spirit in Valeria Duran, representing Esteban and Ruby with their armbands to show the bonds of friendship and kinship with their fellow students.
Esteban Ruby.
Esteban and Ruby present each other with a gift to represent their friendship, symbolizing that they will be able to help each other through good and bad times. Celine Espinosa, Indian sweetheart of Donna presents a friendship gift for Esteban and Ruby to serve as a friendly reminder of the familial bond that exists between the two high schools of Donna.
Extra time. All the time he can.
And finally, the Princess Yasmin, traditional beaded headband, designed and handcrafted by Z Cordero. However, before Yasmin places the headband on Ruby, Ruby will now take the ceremonial oath. Will you, Ruby Rodriguez, solemnly promise to promote school spirit in all academic, athletic, and artistic events, uphold high standards of character and leadership, and assist with fostering cultural awareness and appreciation of the American Indian heritage? Ruby responds, I solemnly promise to do all this and more. Our 11th Indian spirit, Luis will now present Esteban with the iconic symbol of the American spirit, his headdress. This traditional headdress was created by a Black Arrow Native American artist, Russ Cruz, in Arizona. However, before Luis places the headdress on Esteban, Esteban must take his ceremonial oath. Will you, Esteban Casanova, solemnly promise to promote school spirit in all academic, athletic, and artistic events, uphold high standards of character and leadership, and foster cultural awareness and appreciation of the American Indian heritage? Esteban responds, solemnly promise to do all this and more. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome our 13 Indian spirit and 12 Indian princess, Mr. Esteban Casanova and Miss Ruby Rodriguez. Esteban and Ruby would like to thank the various sponsors throughout the community who have supported them in their roles as 13 Indian spirit and 12 Indian princess, as well as the love and support of their family. In addition, I'd also like to give a big thank you to our principal, Dr. Paz Soto, superintendent of schools, Dr. Angela Dominguez, and the cabinet, Donna ISD Board of Trustees, Indian Spirit and Princess Faculty Advisor E. Silva, Student Council Advisor Patricia Howard, Band Director Mr. Adrian Robledo, and the Donna North High School Fine Arts Department, and Mr. Mario Ruiz for their contributions and expertise in making this tradition a reality. On behalf of the speaking body, we'd like to thank everyone for attending and for their help in making this event a great success. Enjoy the rest of the game, and let's go Cheifs!
this time, Donna ISD would like to thank all of our scoreboard sponsors. Roberto Salazar Law Firm, Donna Chick-fil-A, Wesco Raising Canes, Greater State Bank, Dennis Ramirez Law Firm, Julian Galsap State Farm Insurance, McDonald's of Donna, Judge Marla Cuellar, Galvan Insurance, Mid-Valley Urgent Care, Plains Capital Bank, Oakland Pharmacy, H2O Consulting, Ron McVeigh. Thank you again for all your continued support. We greatly appreciate it.
And we're back. Kick off. Short kick by the short man. Picked up at the 30. Breaks to the outside. Runs out of bounds at about the 36, 37-yard line. And that's where the Chiefs will take over.
Okay, so we've got a game going on right now. And I totally forgot, even though we said it multiple times at the very beginning of this, I forgot it's Thursday. I'm looking for scores. There's not that many because I'm like, why isn't anybody updating scores? They're not playing.
They're not playing.
They don't play till tomorrow. And we've got some teams playing, like Mercedes Edinburg. There's 4 teams over in Edinburg.
Right. And then you got PSJ North and San Benito.
And that one I think was just updated again. That I believe they were at 21-7.
Oh,
last I saw.
Which is interesting, which is the same matchup that we have here. You know, we have a 5A versus a 6A. And
but in this case, the 6A is pulling it out. On that one, the 5A is dominating. And what I saw was Mercedes 7, Edinburg 0 at the half.
At the half. Counter, and there he's gone almost off to the races. Tackle at the 40-yard line. What a great run on the counter. That was number 5 for the Chiefs, and we've called his name a couple times. That's David Herrera.
Oh, Gallo.
You know, and the thing is, they've been able to move the ball and cross over to the other side of the field. It's just now finishing those drives. Carizales at quarterback. No, I'm sorry. I think they changed quarterbacks now. Yeah, that is number 15. That is Brandon Trevino, junior quarterback. Dive up the middle. Nice run for about 5 yards. Sets up a 2nd and 5 for North. We got injury timeout.
This replay is being sponsored by Edinburg Insurance and Donna. Player on the field. Our best to the injured player.
Excuse me with that one, folks. And I got here a little bit late. Is there a reason the flag is being flown half?
I'm not sure if it was the shootings that happened. I'm just guessing. I really don't know.
Because they didn't make an announcement or anything.
They did.
Oh, they did?
They did, but I was busy.
We were preoccupied.
Yeah, I was preoccupied trying to do some technical stuff here. But here we go. 2nd and 4 for North. Ball at the 33-yard line.
Quarterback under center. Man in motion. Straight up the gut. And he is stopped.
At the line of scrimmage at most.
They put up a wall on that one. They knew where it was going.
That was number 10 on the stop for the Jaguars. Tony Garcia.
Quarterback under center again. You got the look back.
Almost had a bobble snap there. Yeah, it looked like that ball got away from him, kind of messed up the timing on that play. Be 4th and 3 for North. Oh, broken play. But he's going to get the first down. Maybe. Real close to the first down. Might be short. Yeah, they're going to say he's short. He's going to get to the 31, and he got tackled at the 30. But that was a broken play. He turned around and handed it off, and there was nobody there, so he made the best of it.
Okay, now, there's one thing I actually heard. I wasn't sure if it was true, if it was being implemented, but the UIL is allowing digital watch communication.
Yes.
Out on the field starting this year.
Yes, and at a certain time, that all communication is cut off.
Yeah, they allow, for what I understand, they're allowing one-way communication between the coach to the player, but not back between the player to the coach.
Correct.
It's just so that they can call plays in and get everything
wide open. Caught.
They've been going for that long pass all game. They finally got it.
Yeah, that was number 6 on the reception for the Jaguars. Gael Rodriguez. Gael also plays quarterback, but he was lined up at receiver there. Will be 1st and 10 for the Jaguars at the 15.
This Chiefs defensive series is
or at the 10.
Pharmacy. Your local hometown go-to pharmacy.
Quarterback under center.
Fullback.
Straight up the gut. Looks like they're going to try and pound it in.
Kevin Vargas on the carry for the Jaguars. You know, and if you're playing defensive tackle, it is hard to shoot that gap when you got gashed on those traps earlier. So you almost have to stay home, because if you fire up, you know, they're going to trap you.
Yep. And that's what's tricky about that that trap and counter
misdirection.
It opens up if you try to close one lane, it opens up the other.
Touchdown Jaguars.
Pending the extra point, right now we're looking at 34-0.
That was Gael Rodriguez on the touchdown run on the end around.
Kick is up. Kick was good. And almost halfway through the third quarter, Edinburg Economedes, they're up 35-0.
35-0. But the score didn't. Even though they have the 35-point lead, North has been able to drive. It's just they're not
they're not finishing.
They're not finishing those drives.
They're not finishing, and that's. I was talking to one of the coaches. Like, there's signs of life. There's movement. We're getting the job done, but then it's a penalty or a fumble or something breaks that momentum, and they're just not able to finish. Okay, Economedes coming in, setting up for the kick.
One of the last true kickoffs since the NFL has gone to that new evolved short kickoff.
Short kick. Cuts up, gains some yardage, hits down to the 33, 34 yard line, right in between there. Yeah, I was about to ask, are they ever going to implement the NFL style kickoff here?
I don't know, and I don't like it, but I can understand that they're trying to reduce the risk of concussions.
And I understand why they did it at the NFL level,
right?
Because it's a train, it's a train barreling down on you. Some of these guys just they can't control it. So there is a lot of injuries when you have that much of a lead, and then boom, you knock somebody's head off.
Good run up the middle by that fullback. That's Rodriguez at fullback, number 42. Luis Rodriguez.
I have seen some of those kickoffs, and they're pretty exciting. Some of them get competitive with it.
Right.
So it's not always that boring start, unless they're always just kicking it past the end zone and giving them the touchback.
Brandon Trevino at quarterback for Norse. In the backfield is Johnson, Rodriguez, and Herrera. Quarterback keeper. I guess it was a broken play because he turned around again.
There was
Nobody there.
But then again, if you looked around, maybe it was a pass, but every single person was covered. There we go, quarterback under. Man in motion.
Again, fullback dive. This time nowhere to go. A flock of Jaguars jumped on him. That was number 8 and number 22, number 23, number 35 for the Jaguars. Sets up a 3rd and 11 for Norse. They have the wind behind their back, so if they ever wanted to take a shot, this would be the time to do it.
There you go, quarterback under center. Man in motion.
Trying to get to the outside, Trevino, and nowhere to go.
I had to keep it. Couldn't. He looked like he was looking for the pitch, and it just wasn't going to be there. So he had to tuck it and dive as far as he could.
That was Josiah Villarreal, middle linebacker for the Jaguars on the stop. You know, he's been flying all over the field.
Setting up for the kick. There's a snap. Kick is off.
Takes a bounce. And it's going to be down inside the 20-yard line. Well, you know, I'm still, even though we're still here in the third quarter, I am still, I guess, excited that North is still able to move the ball on a 6-8 team that made the playoffs last year. So
there's definitely positive.
There's positive and there's life in here in this in this North. You know, they had one run that almost could have gone the distance. So there's life here. You know, there's this one step they just got to take forward, because this is a good 6A football team that made the playoffs, returned the core of their offense back.
He's cutting and
Gets to the sideline, pushed out of bounds.
He's pushed out of bounds. He doesn't get that push, and he's gone.
That was number 22 for the Jaguars. Reyes Luna. King Moon. I'm going to call him King Moon. Maybe the Edinburg broadcast will adapt that. King Moon. King Moon in the carry. First and 10 with 3:49 left in the third quarter. North still trailing 35-0.
Quarterback jumps under center. Motion.
Toss to the fullback. Cuts back to the
Keeps
inside.
going.
Rumbling, breaking tackles.
He's not breaking them. He's running them over. He had some. It looks like he was trying to prove something.
Angel Martinez on the saving tackle for a touchdown there. If Angel Martinez doesn't bring him down, that fullback is still running.
Keeps going. He was dipping that shoulder and running like a running back should. There was nothing pretty about that. He just wanted to go straight. Toss to the fullback, runs into his own player, which gives the Chief defense just enough time to gang tackle.
That was 58, 99, 51, and 53, I believe, on the stop for North. 55, I'm sorry. So that the whole defensive line there was able to collapse on that ball carrier.
Mm-hmm.
Second and 14 for the Jaguars. 2:20 left here in the third quarter. Rolls out to the left.
Makes the toss.
Complete, breaks more tackles. Tackled at the 15. That was number 4 for the Jaguars on the catch. Felix Garcia.
QB brings him out to the line. They like that hitch.
Oh,
pass.
nice tackle. Great job. Number 24 out there for the Chiefs. Jeremiah Bresas. Outside linebacker.
Bring up.
Caught. He stepped out of bounds at about the 1 yard line.
Keeping the drive alive.
Number 4 again on the reception for the Jaguars. Felix Garcia.
This replay is being sponsored by the Donna Insurance of Donna, located at 1101 East 6th Avenue in Donna. Come visit us for all your...
Yeah, I've always been a fan of rolling out the quarterback, giving him some room to the outside.
Yeah, make him moves, let him breathe, let him find who he needs to find. But a lot of the times they just can't throw on the go.
That'll be quarterback sneak up the middle, will be a touchdown. Number 3 for the Jaguars will go in and score. Carillon.
There's a flag. There it is. It's on the 5-yard line. Flag in the 5-yard line.
Get ball. Unsportsmanlike. Counting. Offense number 3. That penalty is just on the road. Timeout. Jaguars. If you believe you deserve the best legal representation. With over 40 years of legal experience and 23 years as a judge, I've seen and seen sports like football. That's the level of experience we need when fighting for real maximum compensation. Being a family-owned law firm, we work together seamlessly, keeping each other on track and accountable to ensure our clients are receiving the best service they deserve. Schedule a time to sit down and talk with us, and we'll start connecting our legal efforts.
Roberto Salazar, fighting for justice, fighting for you.
Okay, finally got up here to kick the extra point. And looks like they got it.
Chick-fil-A came from. It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A. A is for all the little things we do to prove we're our best every day. Ever wonder where the Cafe and Chick-fil-A came from? It's
Can happen to good people, leaving you feeling overwhelmed and emotional, but you're not alone. The law office of Dennis.
I'm expecting an exciting game tomorrow between the Yellow Jackets and the Redskins.
Now, we got to see the Yellow Jackets in action last week.
We did against North.
And I don't want to put any pressure, but I didn't see. Okay, how can I put this? I didn't see any excitement on that other side. I didn't see anything that would cause me to
jump out of your
fear.
seat, right?
Yeah. There's nothing to fear there. They're another Valley team right now. But it was a scrimmage. I understand what the scrimmage process is for. So they just may not have been playing their best because they're evaluating the other side of the ball. What they're evaluating their depth.
And on the other hand, when we saw the scrimmage between the Redskins and the PSJ Bears, the district champs from last year, 31-6, and the Redskins were able to drive down the field, score a couple times against the Bears, and hold their own. So this is a different Redskin team than we've seen, the past few years. So if you're a Redskin fan, watch out for this Redskin team.
We'd like to give a big shout out to our Gold Fan Cam sponsor, Raising Canes of Weslaco.
Prince Johnson will get the first down.
Thanks to Cheifs Gold sponsor Chick-fil-A first down. It's the little things.
That should be the last play of the third quarter. We'll flip sides. Fullback dive. Maybe a gain of about a yard for Rodriguez. And that will be the last play of the quarter. So score here at the reservation. The Jaguars have extended their lead to 42-0 over your hometown Donna North Cheifs.
This quarter is being sponsored by Plains Capital Bank.
I want to thank you if you've been tuning to us today, this beautiful Thursday night for Thursday night football.
The almost 1,000 people that have joined us. I mean, it's a Thursday. It's a Thursday. We don't get very many people that aren't used to it.
Plus, I think it might be Thursday night NFL football as well. College football is also going on today, so we got some competition tonight.
I'm going to throw it in there also. There's the WNBA is playing every day this week, just about. And there's something for everybody to watch. And for y'all to tune in to us, we thank you.
Gonna be a counter up the middle. Prince Johnson, about 6-7 yards.
He's getting knocked around like a pinball, but just wasn't capitalizing on the forward progress. He was just getting moved off to the side, spun around.
I'll tell you what, we saw Prince last year explode. So eventually these runs are gonna go to the house, but they're working against a 6A team, So there's just that one guy that they got to make miss.
Well, he's already had one run against them, and of course they had to bring it back. But you saw what the capability of what his capability is. He just needs that little opening. That's all he needs. That little opening.
Not just that. Herrera has had nice runs today. Rodriguez has had nice runs. So these runs are going to start piling up. They've been able to move the sticks. They got an inside the 25-yard line. So they've been productive. Again, it's just they got to cut the mistakes.
They need to finish,
and
that's the whole thing. They've got to finish. They can't just get to a certain point on the field and be happy with it.
Make some noise.
Raising Cane's right now, hyping up the crowd. They're always a great sponsor for Donna.
North comes out in a tight formation. They got a big old boy at fullback, number 58. There he goes. Get the first down. That is Brandon Reyna. He's a defensive lineman and a running back.
Oh yeah, and we've seen that. I've seen that at every level, whether it's high school, college. I've seen them do that in Pee Wee. They bring in the big
old boy, right,
to try and bust open that hole.
And if you're a linebacker, you're a safety, you see a big old running team.
You normally don't get the running back bigger than you,
right?
But sometimes.
Again, 58, plowing, putting his head down, pushing the pile for a nice run of 6 yards. I don't see a classification on him, so he might be a sophomore. Edinburg they just replaced their whole defensive line. They're like, okay. Oh, mixed up there on the handoff between the quarterback and the fullback. Are they going to say it's a fumble, or was he already down? His momentum had been stopped. I'm going to say the officials are saying that his momentum had been stopped. No, they're saying that he stripped the ball. Recovered by the Jaguars.
Now, who is the you said number 58?
Number 58.
I have him as Filimon Reina.
No, that is Brandon Reina. That is the new roster.
Now, he would be a sophomore, Brandon Reina.
That is.
But this is the roster they sent me earlier in the summer.
Okay, so it might have been a change. He might have been brought up from the sophomore team. Not long run by the Jaguars. First down. Might be coming back for holding or illegal substitution. So number 4 didn't report to the yard mark or the line mark. So that keeps them from trying to do those trick plays where they're subbing out and they stop and run down the field wide open.
Mm-hmm.
First and 15 for the Jaguars. Ball at the 22-yard line. Number 6 at quarterback. Handoff. Tosses to the fullback, number 20.
Still going. Busted through that line.
I'm sorry, that was number 30 for the Jaguars. Carlos Garcia on the carry. Gain of about 10 yards for Garcia. Sets up a 2nd and 5 for the Jaguars with 9:10 left here in the fourth quarter. If you're watching the replay, he just runs through a couple tackles, arm tackles. On a big back like that, you have to go low because he's going to run right through those arm tackles. That could be a flag. Dirty on the carry again. Will be short.
Well, they're going to keep on going. A little extracurricular activity right there.
That's a good job by the officials breaking that up and not throwing a flag. But
could have gotten real nasty right there.
Be a third down and 2 with 7 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Toss to the short back. Skips around. Gets to the outside.
Off. So he's finally brought down right around the 44. They had him wrapped up there, and then all of a sudden you just saw him shake a little bit, and boom, he kept on going. There you go, brings him out to the line. Quarterback under center, two back split. Straight blast.
Good job by number 30 for Donna North on the stop there. He shot that gap. Jose Garriera.
Stopped him cold.
And also number 99, Ray Ortega. Be 2nd and 9 for the Jaguars.
And here they come up to the line. Looks like they're going into an I formation.
Toss to number 22. He tosses back to the outside.
Couldn't find anything, but still going.
Number 10 and number 14 there.
Looks like he's just short.
Again, number 14 for Donna Norris on the stop. Angel Martinez had to come down from his safety position to make the stop.
Ooh, I'm thinking, yep, they're moving the chains.
That 22 a little scat back because, you know, he went left, made a stop, and cut back to the right side, found a hole, and got that first down. And toss to number 30, the fullback. Tackle by number 14 and number 8. That is Angel Martinez and
the offense is
Miguel
they're
Valle.
hitting their blocks. This offense, on the Economedes side, they're hitting their blocks. They're opening up the lanes. That's why they're having such success moving the ball. They may not get it every single time, but they're consistent right now.
Toss number 22. Tackle by number 60. And number 11 for Norse. Getting down to the 4-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. First and goal for the Jaguars. Ball at the 7-yard line. Been a 1-2 punch of number 30 and number 22 for the Jaguars on this drive. 30th Carlos Garcia, and number 22 is Reyes Luna, King Moon.
And looks like they got it in.
That is King Moon on the touchdown, Reyes Luna. You got to give credit to the big old line for Economedes because some of these backs are not being touched until they're on the second level of that defense.
We got 3:53 left in the game. Let's see, kick is up. Kick is good.
At this time, Donna ISD would like to thank all of our scoreboard sponsors. Roberto Salazar Law Firm, Donna Chick-fil-A, Westlaco Raising Canes, Greater State Bank, Dennis Economedes Law Firm, Jillian Galsap State Farm Insurance, McDonald's of Donna, Judge Florida Cuella, Galvan Insurance, Mid-Valley Urgent Care, Plains Capital Bank, OK Pharmacy, H2O Consulting, Ron McVeigh. Thank you again for all your continued support. We greatly appreciate it.
Now, Economedes has been kicking it short all game long.
Well, if you remember last year, Dave, Prince Johnson took a kickoff for a touchdown against Economedes, so they've been definitely trying to keep the ball away from Prince Johnson.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. I just don't think that. I don't know. Maybe they let one go, see if they can stop him. Yeah, under center. Fullback.
Second and 8 for Norse. Getting close to 3-minute mark. 15 still at quarterback. Dive up the middle for Rodriguez. Battles his way up to the 45-yard line. Close to a first down. Brandon Trevino at quarterback. He didn't start the game. That was Orlando Carizales who started the game at quarterback. But Carizales has given away to Brandon Trevino here in the second half. And just were nowhere to go. Stuffed by number 58 for the Jaguars, who shot through that O-line and made the stop. Jimmy Espinosa, senior defensive lineman for the Jaguars, met Rodriguez in the backfield, be a loss of a yard. Getting close to the 2-minute mark here, Dave. Second 11 for Norse.
I know what time it is.
Pitch to Johnson. Johnson
taking it far.
Breaks
it. Here we go.
No, he was down. He was down at the 25-yard line. That ball popped out, but he was down.
He was down by contact. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, they're going to mark him down at the 25. 2-minute timeout. That's something new this year. Well, at least I recall it this year.
Yeah, they got away from that for a while.
Here at Greater State Bank, we believe in genuine income banking. We believe it's important to see our customers as our fellow community members and not just a number in our system. Greater State Bank will always help our customers with every.
Yeah, they used to run through the 2 minutes. Now they stopped. They brought it back.
At any of our locations. And now our newest location.
So we got a minute 55 left. I really want to see what's going to happen next week. Donna versus Mercedes.
Right.
That's going to be a great game. We're gonna be on live for that one, of course. That'll be the coronation of the Indian sweetheart. Gotta love the tradition and the spectacle that they start every season with. A lot of schools have gotten away from their traditions, but Donna has been doing this for, apparently it's going to be 91 years already, or 90. It's the 91st Indian sweetheart that they're going to be presenting with their new headdress and things like that for the next week, just like they do here. And they're really, really new. It's only the 12th one, but they've done it consistently every single year. Donna North crowning their Indian spirits.
But that was like a couple of years ago that they didn't.
There was one. I believe there was one year that they skipped. They had to. They couldn't. I don't know the story, so I won't get into it. But I know this year is going to be the 91st here in Donna.
Right. Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go on that one.
That was Brandon Trevino on the carry.
As the clock ticks down, I want to wish Donna High a good game tomorrow. They're gonna have a tough outing over there
at the Black Hole,
the 107. Apparently, they told me that they fixed their lighting, so they may not be able to lay claim to the Black Hole. But they got some better lighting. Supposedly, you can actually take pictures there. It doesn't eat up all the all the light bulbs there. But yeah, they're going to be going out there tomorrow. We've got a ton of players that are just chomping at the bit to get the season started. Next week, where does Donna North play?
Donna North, we're gonna have to pull that schedule up on that one, Dave. I think we kind of just focus on the home games. On the home game for tonight. But I'm sure we'll have that for you next week. We'll break out all that schedule.
We'll see where they're playing next week, because I know I did the graphics for the game, but they. Oh, looks like we lost all of our feed. If you can still hear us and you're still with us, I want to thank you for joining in. We will definitely be seeing you next week, and have a great week. Rainey?
See y'all next week.